This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Most of you listening right now are probably multitasking. Yep, while you're listening to me talk, you're probably also driving, cleaning, exercising, maybe even grocery shopping. But if you're not currently operating some kind of moving vehicle, there's something else you could be doing right now that's easy and could save you money right from your phone. Getting an auto quote from Progressive Insurance. Drivers who save by switching to Progressive save nearly $750 on average. Plus, auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. There are discounts for having multiple vehicles on your policy, being a homeowner, and more. And just like your favorite podcast, Progressive will be with you 24/7, 365 days a year, so you're protected no matter what. So multitask right now. Quote your car insurance at progressive.com to join over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Don't chew on that, Max.
Cooper loves that chew, too.
Oh, now he's into Cooper's food. Wow, he is loving it. What do you feed Cooper?
Blue Buffalo Life Protection Formula. He never leaves a crumb. I love it because it's made with high-quality protein, nutrient-rich fruits and veggies, and wholesome whole grains.
Looks like we're switching to Blue.
Blue Buffalo foods are made with the superior ingredients your dog needs to thrive. Can your dog food say that? Visit feedbluefood.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Craner, and my friend Cecil Baldwin loves horror movies, and he's helping make this genre more approachable for me, and hopefully for you, too, one film at a time in a random order. Are you squeamish about horror movies? Well, don't worry. We'll tell you what happens. Adore horror movies? Well, great. Watch along with us each week. As always, check the show notes for content warnings about this week's episode discussion and television show. This week, we randomly rolled a 5 for Undead and a 4 for first 3 episodes. Here is episode 306.
Top number generation. Podcast number 9.
This week on Random Number Generator Horror Podcast number 9, The Walking Dead 2010. Warning! Spoilers ahead.
I was talking to a friend of mine last night who told me she took a cab home from Manhattan the other day after a long night of dancing. It was 2 a.m. and she's in the back of a yellow cab, and as she got nearer to her apartment, she realized the driver wasn't going the directions that she was seeing on her own Google Maps. The driver also didn't have a map app pulled up on his dashboard or anything. And she panicked a little bit, thinking, like, I'm in a cab. I never take cabs anymore. Like, there's no GPS tracking of my location, where I got in, when, where I'm going. There's no Lyft app to make sure I'm okay. And then suddenly the yellow cab turned onto a different street than she was used to, then onto another, and then boom, she was home, safe and sound. My friend's in her late 40s. She's lived in New York her whole life, so pretty much all of her late teens and 20s were spent riding yellow cabs without GPS or any of that sort of thing. And she, of course, at that time didn't think anything of it because the GPS and the tracking hadn't existed yet. But now that we have those safety features, it's hard to imagine going without them. It's hard to imagine going backwards. The smartphone really changed everything, and horror writers know this in particular. Think of the number of movies these days that have the caveat line, oh shit, I don't get any bars out here in the woods or deep in this cave or whatever. That's the easy fix. But beyond just the safety of being able to communicate, there's the social media question. Like, how do people get organized, communicate en masse? It's so interesting, the revival of the zombie genre in the late aughts and early 2010s, because it feels like a reaction to the rapidly changing way in which we communicate. Sure, social media is a shit show with lots and lots of problems, but it's also a tool that helps us a whole lot by letting us know where we are, by that we're doing okay, that we can make change, that we can protect each other. The zombie story says, nah, fuck your infrastructure, we're feral now. So The Walking Dead, a TV show that debuted in 2010, which was just before Arab Spring as a touchstone on the timeline, it got in just under the wire of the Twitter revolution. Of course, all satcoms are down in this world. So I don't know that Twitter makes a difference in the universe of The Walking Dead. But for a program that seems fairly contemporary by all accounts, by the way it's shot, the way it's performed, the way the story is told, I found it fascinating that the final fleeting moments of mass media demonstrated in the opening credits are newspapers. So truly the end of a horror era. Hi, Cecil.
Hi, Jeffrey.
What is your zombie-killing weapon of choice?
Oh, damn. That's a tough one because you know, clearly you want something that will take out the brain.
Yep.
Guns are limited. Ammo is limited.
Yeah.
So like, you know, bows and arrows, cool. You can reuse them if you can, you know, are good enough to get them in one shot and then pull it out of their head. So that's okay, but I have not enough skill with that. I think I would have to go with like a handheld weapon with a spike on it, like a fire axe with a spike on the back. A crowbar seems like a pretty good, you know, but I think honestly, what most people don't think is what you need is a shield. You need a weapon and a shield.
Yeah.
So you can rebuff and attack. Offense is the best defense, or however that
defense
sports
is the
saying
best
goes.
offense. Yeah, defense wins championships.
You know, like everybody's so into like kill that zombie, and I'm like, yeah. What about repel the zombie far enough back so you can kill the zombie?
Yeah, we don't have enough like just makeshift shields in zombie shows. I think that's a good point. Like you get real Captain America out there.
Yeah.
And then if you could get some kind of like mace sort of thing, that would be pretty great.
Ooh, that would be good. But then if it sticks, then you're like, oh no, I'm stuck to a zombie.
Honestly, it seems like if you just do the shovel thing or any type of like baseball bat to the head,
A
it
blunt
at least,
object, yeah.
Yeah, at least knocks him out and you're not losing. So I think a metal bat would be pretty great.
But as we see, like we just watched like 7 grown men take like 5 full minutes to beat a zombie down.
Yeah.
Before Norman Reedus came in and was like, no, I got this.
You said you had seen the first season of this show before, right?
Okay, I watched the first season close to when it came out. I think it was complete. It was maybe not. I wasn't watching it in real time. And here's the thing. My family loved this show. Like everyone was all into it. And I watched it and I was entertained, but a little less than impressed. Like it was one of those things where I don't know if the hype transferred over to me, because throughout the season, this first season, I remember there being a lot of scenarios that I recognized from famous zombie movies.
Yeah.
And it was like, 28 days later, I was waking up in a hospital.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's Walking Dead. You know, like I kind of, there were enough things that kind of came through that I was like, well, this just kind of is it an homage? Is it a nod? Is it, what is this? Should I just watch the originals?
I had this thought too, because it does have a bit of, especially we'll get to in episode 1 with Rick Grimes, our protagonist, living in a universe that looks very much like our universe in 2010, except that no one has ever heard of zombies.
Yeah.
Because his questions about what's happening, the sort of like the Midnight Mass, the show that doesn't use the V word. This is
so classy.
This is the show that doesn't use the Z word.
Yeah.
You know, and they're walkers, which I think is
they're
great.
Geeks. They're
And so this is a movie where this is like the universe where George A. Romero was never born.
Sure.
I don't know. I found that really fascinating. I was more caught up in the soap opera of it, which is great.
Yeah.
But also, like, just 3 episodes in, shit is over the top soap.
Yeah. I know. And I remember that being the other thing. I was like, I remember walking away from this thinking, the real enemy in this movie or this TV show is not the zombies. It's these fucking people.
Yep. Yep.
These people are a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, season 1, episode 1, Days Gone By. This is my first exposure to this show, although I think via osmosis, a lot of this was really familiar to me. Hey, shout out to Frank Darabont. We've talked about him on this show before. He was one of his earliest credits is he wrote Dream Warriors, Nightmare on Elm Street 3. He co-wrote the screenplay to that. He was also, and I think in that episode I talked about Stephen King's Dollar Baby program, wherein he offered
the Stephen King short films,
or films and short films, but you for $1 you could buy the rights to make the films, and Frank Darabont had turned one of his short stories into a short film, which helped get him successful, and it was Stephen King that really wanted him to do Shawshank Redemption. And I believe, did Frank also do The Mist? I know he did Green Mile.
That sounds familiar.
I don't think he did The Mist, but
I don't know.
Yeah, Frank Darabont's had an amazing career, and then you throw in, basically creating the show The Walking Dead from the graphic novels.
I didn't read the graphic novels. I kind of wish I had, but again, in 2010, I was a little zombied out, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
As somebody who has been a horror genre fan for quite a while, once we got Pride and Prejudice and zombies, I was like, y'all, I'm checking out. I think it is now so mainstream. Like, there's a zombie rom-com. I think I'm good for at least a decade.
Yeah. And I think the thing about this show that I get the sense 3 episodes in, I'm going to be an expert on this show. But my sense of it was that the allure of this show is less to do with zombies and more to do with the soap opera of the people, in the way that Mad Men isn't really about advertising. It's about the soap opera, the drama of the people.
It's the psychology. Like, I was thinking about it last night of like, this is really, this is an extension of the horror movie as morality play.
Yes.
Which, if you go back to like all the old comic books, Tales from the Crypt, tight little packages of like, here's a moral conundrum that is accelerated, like it has an accelerant or a heightened effect because of the supernatural that makes you go, oh, you are chaotic good. You are lawful good. You are chaotic evil. You are neutral. And you recognize those things much more clearly because the supernatural, the horrific elements have just like heightened these emotions or the urgency of make a moral decision.
Yeah.
Do you leave the person behind? Do you take them? Like, what do you do? The survival of horror, surviving the horror makes you come to grips with who you are, where you fit on that moral scale, and also the people around you.
This is kind of not far off from the intro of Game of Thrones. Also, which was a show that kind of famously went off the rails at the end as they tried to create plot that wasn't there for them, and they also had an end date. Lost was another one where it's like, you need to wrap all this up and you need to come to a coherent landing spot for everything. And when you do that, it makes it so hard. And I think for The Walking Dead, what's interesting is you could keep the show going on into infinity, theoretically, as long as there are eyeballs on it, because it is about the world in which we live. It's Welcome to Night Vale is a show that could just go on forever and ever because the characters grow and adapt and change. It's not about monster of the week, and it's also not about like solving if we could just find the place where all the zombies are coming from and eradicate it. It's not that at all. He says, having only seen the first 3 episodes. I don't know where this show goes, so forgive me. Let us know in the comments. But
so where does this show go? 12 seasons later, what happens? 3 spinoffs? A couple spinoffs later?
Well, we get off to a rip-roaring start with present-day Rick Grimes in his sheriff's car on an abandoned road. But as we pan out, we start seeing those cars are all burned and wrecked.
Oh, yeah. No gas.
There is a makeshift tent community, but they are all dead there.
There aren't even people there. There's just no one.
There's like one moment where he sees a dead body in a car.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's just.
But for me, it's more the lone man and the emptiness. Just like everybody had a party and left.
Yeah.
Everybody had something and then left. Except for this one little girl who's finding her teddy bear.
Boy, there is nothing. We see her just from the legs first. And there is nothing about this girl's legs or the way she's moving that says, hey, a sweet little girl.
Hey, little girl, come with me. I will rest. Oh, no, you're missing your face. Now, I will say this about The Walking Dead. The effects are tight.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if this shit won Emmys, but I'm pretty sure it did. It must have. Like, I feel like the special effects on this show were excellent.
Yeah.
Especially for a TV show.
Yeah, the gore, the offal being pulled out of things is pretty great. And those are all practical effects. The gunshots are digital effects, but really stylized, very graphic novel stylized, like head splattering backwards. It's a really, really gorgeous in a really bloody sort of way. But yeah, we get our opening credits and we're going to flash back to T-minus 5 days and counting. I don't know how long.
Or something.
So we're going to meet Shane and we're going to see Rick Grimes again. Rick Grimes is the deputy sheriff of unnamed town in Kings County, Georgia.
Somewhere northern Georgia.
Outpost of Atlanta, unnamed town. And these guys are old friends. They're partners in the sheriff's office. And Shane has got opinions on women to start our show.
Yes, he does.
Which their conversation I just wrote down is the Key and Peele sketch of, and I was like, bitch, you said that? You said that?
You said that?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I told my girlfriend she's dumb and she doesn't know how to operate a light switch. And
yeah. I mean, in so many words.
And, you know, I thought it in my brain. But I'm going to sit, yeah.
And we sort of understand the immediate dynamic is that Shane is vocal. Shane is everything Shane feels, Shane does. Shane is controlling. Yeah. He is, to use the phrase, he's very type A. And
he's a hothead.
He's a hothead and has strong opinions, but also is the flip side of that is a caretaker. Like there's something kind of like lawful evil.
Lawful evil? Oh, I don't know about that. He's not evil. He's not evil.
No, he's not evil. No, he's definitely not. At least through these 3 episodes.
I'd say more like neutral good.
Neutral good, yeah. I said lawful because he's so controlling, as we'll see in the camp.
Because, Rick Grimes is true lawful good, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, knight on a shining hill. Horse and steed. Literally. Literally. I was so mad about that horse. I was like, fuck yeah, we got a horse. Oh, never mind.
Never mind.
But yeah, I think John Bernthal is a little more, you know, he once we see him in camp, he's definitely likes being the boss, but he does have a sense of you know, my way or the highway.
Yeah, I think neutral good or lawful neutral sort of vibe. Yeah. Could be something to that. But yeah, it's interesting. And whereas Rick, while he's our protagonist, Rick, we also learn when he's talking about his wife, Lori, is that they're struggling. They've been married for a while. They have a kid. But Lori is just you don't open up, dude. You don't share your feelings. And he's like, but then when I do share my feelings, she doesn't want to hear it. She's all mad. Blah, blah, blah. So it's definitely men grousing about the women in their lives.
Sure.
But oh shit, we got an APB. There's 2 gunmen fleeing.
Yep.
They set out the spike strips. The spike strips work. They open fire. They killed the 2 dudes. But oh no, there was a third.
Rick Grimes gets shot.
And
again, not only the special effects, but the stunts in this are pretty awesome.
Pretty great. This was a really great car chase action sequence. It was really, really good. This movie, by its color palette, doesn't feel like a graphic novel to me. I think of a lot of times when I see movies or whatever adapted from graphic novels.
It's not a Sin City.
Yeah, there's or even Hellboy or something like that. You know what I mean? There's still a sense of color and or contrast happening on things. And this one is pretty sepia toned, this whole show.
Yeah.
Sepia, brownish. It's dirty.
It's natural. It's the green greens of kudzu in northern Georgia, and it's that sort of sepia, like kind of faded newspaper color.
Well, Shane is bleeding out. Or I'm sorry, Rick is bleeding out. Shane gets him to the hospital, and he's in a coma.
Sure.
Or just
soap operas love a coma.
They do love a coma. But he has some kind of like he's seeing. I wrote down this weird dream sequence with Shane bringing him flowers. I wrote they set the video to reverb.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly it. Which it kind of worked, but it also was like I was like, my eyes.
Yeah,
I either move or don't, or stop moving, or don't move at all.
This is also a scene that I'm like, I don't know the point of the scene if this comes back at all.
Well, it's because he leaves him flowers. And then the next thing we know, Rick wakes up, and he thinks it's like that time.
Yeah.
It is like 5 minutes. Like, because he's like, hey, are you in the bathroom? Like,
yes.
I thought you were just in my room. But then he kind of reaches over, and now we're into the slow realization of the 28 days later portion of this TV show.
Yeah.
Of, I've been gone for an unknown amount of time. Something has happened. What has happened?
Something has definitely happened. There is the whole hospital is trashed. We start seeing blood tracks on the walls and floor, and
There's
eventually we found
dead ass ladies. Some just man.
And there is a painted on one of the sets of doors that are like locked shut. Don't open. Dead inside.
Yeah. Uh-oh. But yeah, then creepy fingers, and he's like, at least he has the foresight to be like, I should get out of here.
Yeah, yeah. I did like the touch of like the bullet. There's a series on this hallway of like bullet holes like high up on the wall, which I found really fascinating.
And then I like the sequence where he's like, okay, clearly I can't take the elevator, so into the stairwell, and all he has is like a book of matches. And he's like in his like boxer shorts and like hospital gown. So he's like clearly not, he's still recovering, right? But it's this like pitch black. It's so rare on TV shows that you see like darkness. And it's like he lights a match and it only lasts like 6 seconds. And because he's sort of limping because he's, been atrophied for, I don't know, 6 months or 3 months or something like that. And it's just his face. And it happens like 3 or 4 times. And you're like waiting for like zombie face to appear behind him. But no, that doesn't happen. No. But it's that building tension of like, what is in the darkness behind me?
Yeah. And also the way when he first gets into that hallway, just seeing him under the match, you can see just how vile the stench is in there on his face as well. It's great. Which we're going to see in these first 3 episodes of the show. The way they capture smell, I thought was really evocative. I thought it was really interesting. We obviously have the whole let's go wear some offal through the crowd sort of, but it's sort of explaining the way things smell to a zombie versus the way things smell to us. I thought was really interesting.
And listen, if you've ever been to northern Georgia in the middle of the summertime, things smell.
Yeah.
Because it is hot and damp. And yeah.
All right. So he's gonna find a bike on a lawn. He's also gonna find a woman with her legs chewed off who's got full zombie face, and he's like, "Yeek! I'm just gonna get this bike and ride home."
No, thank you.
But at home, wife Lori and son Carl are not there.
Carl,
what a name for a child!
You named your child Carl.
I knew a guy who named his son Frank, not Franklin, not Frankie. Frank, which. It's just hard to call anyone under the age of 40 Frank.
Was he in Death of a Salesman? Get Frank on the phone. So this is really touching. This like, you arrive home, you don't know where your wife and kid are, you don't know what's happening. And then I think this actor, Andrew Lincoln, does a pretty adequate job of running through the gamut of emotions.
Yeah.
From grief to bewilderment to, am I in hell?
Yeah.
Like, is this even real? Is it just me? Am I alone here?
Yeah.
Which, honestly, that's what I'd be asking. I'm like, did I not wake up? Am I in a coma dream?
Yeah, he's great. I really like Andrew Lincoln in the show quite a bit. I think he's really, really excellent. I think it's really hard. I would imagine it's hard because I don't see it done successfully a whole lot. Or super successfully, I've seen it done competently, where you have to play a character that one of your core problems, as one of your Achilles heels, is your inability to open up. We set that up in the opening scene with Shane. Is that he is not like a forthright person. Shane is more of your 80s action hero type. Like, he's full of one-liners. Totally. He's on top of shit. He's ready to go. He's ready to fight. And not that Rick Grimes is a reluctant person, because when problems come his way, he has solutions in mind, it seems. But he also is a bit he's a bit introverted. He's a bit introspective. And I think that's just harder to pull off. And I think he does it really, really well. I do love this sequence when he goes to sit down outside. This is a classic guy doesn't know he's in a horror movie irony.
Like,
and he kind of sits down. And there's a person in the street, and the way he waves.
Hi. Hello. I'm over here.
But he gets cranked in the face with a shovel by young Dwayne, who we'll meet momentarily. And then he sees as older Morgan blows this man's head off in the street.
Oh. And he wakes up tied to a bed. Hot. Hot.
All right, so now we're in Gerald's game.
Yep. And it's very much the, like, I saw you at a bandage. Were you bitten? Were you bitten? Were you bitten? And he's like, bitten by what?
Yeah.
You've seen a zombie, sir. You saw a woman that is just a torso crawling on the ground with her face melted off.
I did not love having to have about 20 minutes of this pilot episode explaining zombies to Rick Grimes.
Yes. Because we're not explaining it to Rick Grimes, we're explaining it to our television audience.
I know it's a bummer as a writer to not be able to, like, set up your world. And in the process, we do get some useful info, which are the rules. Because zombie rules can vary from show to show, movie to movie. Same with vampire rules, et cetera, et cetera. So I like the fact that we know that, all right, this is a brain-destroying effort that you have to do with these zombies. And it is the bite that transfers it.
Like, even a little, like a drop of blood, into your system. But it's also unclear at this point, if you get bitten, do you get the fever and you die, and then you reanimate as a zombie, right?
Yes. And there's like a time lapse in there. Like, it seems like you get bit, you get a fever. It is a crazy high, like your body feels like a furnace, and then you die, and then you come back to life.
And that apparently is what happened to these two folks, their mom/wife.
Yeah.
Who's now just like zombieing around outside their door.
Yeah, so they're living in one of Rick's neighbors' houses. He was like, oh, didn't the Drakes live here? He's like, I don't know who the fuck that is, but nobody was here and we needed a place. But it was... Yeah, it's such a sad story because outside the gunshot that Morgan had fired has drawn the zombies. So again, sensuality in the show, like senses, the use of sound, the use of smell, the use of sight is really, really important. Because a lot of zombie stories really are about just touch. It's just about the body itself, like the that kind of feeling of like being bitten or ripped apart or having your head blown off. And here we're talking about the sound has drawn them. And it's so scary, this moment where zombie mom like walks up to the peephole and kind of stares in at the door and starts rattling the doorknob.
Yeah, these zombies they can do a little bit more. Some of them actually appear kind of like, oh, that one is using a tool. That one's using a rock. That one knows what a doorknob is. Even that very first zombie, the little girl, she picked up her little stuffed rabbit. Why would a zombie do that? And, again, we go back to the Dawn of the Dead, in which they're at the mall and they're like, why are they coming here? They're like, well, maybe there's something in their brain from their past life that is still bouncing around inside that zombie head that is like, I need this or I can use this. So it's not total brain dead. There are every once in a while little blips of more.
It reminded me of John Lindquist's novel, the guy who wrote Let the Right One In, also wrote Handling the Undead. And that's a novel that I haven't seen the movie version of it that came out last year yet, but it deals with the muscle memory of the dead. It deals with the idea that these zombies who come back to life, they're not harmful zombies in that book necessarily. They're just doing the same things they've always done. And it kind of creates a simulacrum that they are living, that it's are
more like
alive.
Automaton.
Yeah.
Than
and
brain
the
hungry.
Living can't let go because we have the visual memory of them.
Yeah.
And so seeing the wife, even though she's just like flicking her tongue out and kind of gagging and drooling and looking like an animal, Morgan can't bring himself to destroy her, to kill off the zombie or put her out of her misery, I think, too. Yeah.
But that's where we leave them, dealing with their emotional quagmire.
Yeah,
but here's some guns.
Yeah.
Here, I used to be a sheriff. Let's go to the sheriff. Let's stock up. Let's take a shower.
Yeah.
Let's grab some guns. Let's grab some ammo.
Uh-huh.
And here's a walkie-talkie. Meet you in Atlanta. See you in Atlanta. Meet you on Peachtree. Peachtree Street, Peachtree Ave. Mm-hmm. We'll go to the Coke Museum. It'll be great.
They have a world-class aquarium there in Atlanta.
I mean, we can go to the Fox Theater. Is amazing. We can go catch
absolutely.
a show.
Before they head to Atlanta, we go stock up at the sheriff's station with guns and ammo. He hands some of that off to Morgan and his son. We're not going to hear from them again in these first 3 episodes. I don't know if we hear from them again in this show.
I bet we do.
This seems
like one of those TV shows where like a character comes in, is on for 1 episode, and then like 2 seasons later, they're like, remember this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. And they come in and save the day or destroy the day, depending.
Yeah. But Rick has a couple things. One, he's got a giant duffel bag filled with rifles and guns and ammunition. He's also got the information from Morgan that one of the last broadcasts they got on radio or television was that they were trying to do some type of safe haven in Atlanta itself.
Yes. And also the CDC, which the only thing I remember about this TV show when I watched it is like the CDC was like the finale of the first season.
Okay.
That was kind of the like, Atlanta has fallen. Maybe somebody at the CDC has answers.
Fauci.
Yeah, I know. That's it.
I don't think he's CDC per se.
They're like, you're just trying to hand him a mask. You're like, did you put this on? Stop biting me.
All right. So he heads to Atlanta. On the way, he finds a farmhouse with a couple that has ended their own lives.
And drawn in their own blood?
What? I was confused by this.
I was like, wait, you shot yourself in the head. That is written in blood. So you like dabbled in your husband's blood. God for wife's blood. God forgive us. Gross.
I think you could have just written that on a Post-it note.
I don't think you need to write anybody.
No.
Just again, I go back to like a friend of mine back in New York. We would have this conversation. This is in around 2010 when all this shit was like zombie. And he's like, take me out. I'm a house cat and I am not meant to live in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. I give myself 3 days. And then I'm like, I have to dry shave. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, this was just, we needed a dramatic beat. So having stuff written in blood, like "Don't open, dead inside" or whatever.
Well, I think this is also the inherent Christianity that runs like a river through this TV show. Because I don't think it's it's no coincidence that this is set in the South. We're going to get into like racial stuff. We're going to get into like feminist stuff. But I think it's also like, what do the Christians do when hell on earth is here? And they're like, oh no, we didn't get raptured. Are we not good Christians? Like, where does God live in all of this? And, you need to have a show with a strong moral compass protagonist. You need to have some like strong morals.
Yeah.
What would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? Would Jesus take the horse and ride?
Well, he was our first zombie.
I know, right? Well, he made the first zombie in Lazarus. He's like, ba-bam.
That's true. You're right.
Arise.
You're right.
Come to this wedding. Oh, you seem real bleak. Whatever you saw on the other side, apparently you should not talk about. I'm going to leave. I have other things to do. And I'll let you your family deal with all of this zombiness.
Yeah. He ends up stealing a horse because he cannot find gas.
I love this. I was this is the most Stephen King of me. Like Stephen King being the 20th century kind of the like fantastical, horrific Americana, the sort of like thumbprint of that. This is like, well, like we've got our protagonist on his white horse, like a fucking cowboy riding into the city to go clean up town. I love it.
I do too. I had so many mixed feelings writing wise about the use of the horse because I really deep down, I think this is not a critique of this, is just my own personal thing, which was I really wanted more time with the horse. I really wanted
the horse to be a character, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I did too, which its eventual death would have been a lot harder to take if we got a name and got to know it and what have you.
But it also brings another interesting thing is like, what about the animals?
Yeah.
Which is all like, it's so funny. Like, what? Humans are self-centered, but this horse is still alive. These ravens are just pecking at zombie bodies. They don't seem like zombie ravens. Like, what is the ecosystem that we now live in?
On the flip side with the horse thing, which is, to your point of like kind of having the sheriff riding in on, even though it's a brown horse, but riding in on his white horse, the cowboy, right? The classic cowboy imagery. The famous poster artwork of the show is summed up in the highways of Atlanta, clogged on the outbound lane, empty on the inbound lane.
Nobody wants to go in. Everybody wants to get out.
Wants to go out. And
except
then you have
one man on a horse.
Deputy Sheriff Grimes riding
with
in to save the day.
Bag of guns.
Yeah, which is
no
great.
Backup.
And the way that in episode 1 that comes to a screeching halt so fast.
That lasts
I think
like 7 minutes.
It's pretty masterful. I like that a lot. But it
sets a tone for, this is of a time period where they're like, the Anyone Could Die show was so much more shocking at this time.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, and I think this was one of the reasons why people were kind of enamored with this show, is because it did not give a fuck who you liked or who you didn't like. Anyone is vulnerable.
Opening scene is an 8-year-old girl getting shot in the forehead.
Sure.
Yeah.
But also that is lifted straight out of Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
So that like, oh my God, a small child, we must help her. Oh no, how could this something so young and innocent be an evil killing machine? Like for the genre fans, we're like, yeah, that kid's a zombie. You should beat that child's ass into the ground.
Yep.
I know. Sorry, Mom, we're watching the TV show with. You have to like catch up to the level of, jaded that the rest of us are living at.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the thing where, like, this goes back to me in sports movies. I just don't watch a lot of sports movies because I know it's either going to, like, screw up what I already know about sports, or it's going to explain sports to me in a way I'm like, what have you.
But, like, sports is a metaphor for life, Jeffrey.
I know. And
if I could just make it to the big game, if I could just win the big game, I win my life.
And for the budget you have to put into any movie or TV show, you cannot make it just specifically for an audience, or you rarely can. And Walking Dead very much says we are still an evening soap opera. Yeah. And it does that really, really well. But yeah, for those of us who have seen our fair share of zombie stories, we're like, thank you.
Yep. Don't touch that. Nope. Don't open that door. Nope. Stop making noise. You don't need to knock on their door to go scavenging.
Well, our final moments of episode 1 of our pilot episode is he sees a helicopter. So we've got a couple of great teases. One, there's a helicopter that's not being flown by zombies.
I also love that he sees it reflected in a building. So it's not even, we don't even see a helicopter. We see a reflection of a helicopter, which is just one thing removed.
And as he starts to follow that, he goes down the street, and then there is just zombie horde.
Oh my God.
These extras are really fascinating to me. I mean, everybody seems to be doing a great job. I didn't notice anybody out of line in the extra department. Like when
everybody's into it.
Like when we watched Opera, the people in that crowd were amazing.
But, some of them are behaving better than others. Some of them are like,
But it's funny because for like a TV show, you're hoping to just go on and on and on and on.
Sure.
And so there is the sustainability of a TV show means you have to shorthand some special effects. So there's definitely people out there who all they got was just a nice coating of powder on their face.
A little dab.
And like somebody came in with some like red nail polish and just kind of like, drew some lines on their face or what have you.
But then you also have like some kind of, not featured zombies, but zombies that are much more like get close to or interact with the leads.
Yes.
That are pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think when we focus on singular zombies, we're doing great.
And they don't even have to necessarily do anything. They're just kind of like, they have like 6 seconds of screen time. So they go, that's me. Look at me. I got special contact lenses.
Rick manages to get fully swarmed by these things, but they take his horse down first.
Yeah.
Sad. He crawls under a tank that we've already seen a setup of a lot of military vehicles and equipment that are all abandoned. He gets up under this tank. He thinks he's done for, but there is a bottom hatch that he crawls up through quickly, seals himself inside, and then has to shoot a zombified soldier inside of there.
Yeah.
Again with the sound, because he shoots the gun inside of a tank, which causes instant tinnitus.
Oh, yeah. And like tinnitus so bad that he's like woozy.
Yeah.
But somebody starts talking to him on the CB radio.
Hey, you dumbass in the tank. You cozy in there?
What?
Credits.
And then we get this like, and then I like this final image of this first episode is great, of the like just the it's the hordes, and I think the father and son character, they're like, hey, listen, you've only seen them 2 or 3 at a time, but when there's a lot of them, they can be overwhelming. And we get that sense as the camera just keeps pulling up and up and up and up and up and up and up of just how overwhelming the citizens of Atlanta can be when they're zombified.
What if I told you that 2026 is the year you launch your business? Maybe you've got an idea you just can't shake, or that hobby that everyone in your life is telling you to sell. Taking that first step and finally taking action can feel impossible. But with Shopify, all you need to turn your dreams into your new future is at your fingertips. Make 2026 the year you transform into the entrepreneur, founder, and boss you were meant to be. And the one powerful move to make it all happen is starting your business with Shopify. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person, giving you all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. And you can set up quickly with Shopify's built-in AI tools that will help you write product descriptions and headlines, as well as edit product photos. Millions of entrepreneurs have already made this leap, from household names like Gymshark and Mattel to first-time business owners just getting started. Marketing is built in too. You can create email and social campaigns within Shopify to reach customers wherever they are. And as you grow, Shopify grows with you. The same dashboard that you start with will evolve as your business does to handle more orders and expand to new markets. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm. That's shopify.com/realm. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side.
This episode is brought to you by FX's The Beauty Official Podcast. Join host Evan Ross Katz on the official podcast for FX's hottest new series, The Beauty, taking you behind the scenes with its amazing stars as they discuss the show's most jaw-dropping moments. Featuring Evan Peters, Anthony Ramos, Jeremy Pope, Ashton Kutcher, Rebecca Hall, Bella Hadid, Meghan Trainor, Isabella Rossellini, Jessica Alexander, and Ari Grainer. Search FX's The Beauty wherever you listen to podcasts.
Episode 2, Guts. We saw a brief moment in episode 1 when he's getting out of town where he's trying to make contact with anyone on his radio, and he does reach this camp. And one thing we do see in episode 1 is one of the people at the camp is Shane.
Yeah.
But they don't know that's each other.
Yeah. And he's talking to some lady that we can Carl and his family is there.
This was interesting because this was immediately spoiled for me because I already knew this story point.
Sure.
And you can't, I was pulling up Wikipedia to get character names and whatever else, but the summaries of season 1, episode 1 basically states that this is Lori and Carl.
Yes.
And we see her and Shane having a romantic but a little bit secretive relationship.
Sexy sex, secret sexy sex.
But they don't say their names, I think, until episode 3, maybe, or end of episode 2. But yeah, episode 1, they don't say that's Lori and Carl. So I'm just curious, did we know that was them and not Shane's girlfriend and kiddo sort of thing?
I recognized her from the photo that Rick has in his cruiser, his police cruiser.
Oh, there you go.
And also, you can just kind of tell.
Yeah. You just kind of know.
It's like a casting thing. It's like, you're like, oh, I bet. Yeah, I think I know what's going on here. She's not just some random brunette that we're spending a lot of time talking to.
Yeah. Well, this cold open for episode 2 is the two of them fucking in the woods, and he is like, hey, can you take that locket off? Yeah.
They're really into it. And she has the moment where she's like, oh, I've got to take my dead husband's wedding ring off.
Yep.
But then let's take a train down to Bonetown. Bonetown Station, now leaving. And they still feel kind of like, you can tell it's a secret thing, which is going to be very convenient because, oh my God, if it had not been a secret thing and then episode 3 comes along, ooh, the camp would have been a buzz. You know what's interesting? You were talking about the effect of social media on our lives. And you know what's interesting? Without social media, or social media is just an extension of this, pre-social media, gossip was a very powerful thing. If you've ever spent any time in people who live off-grid or, sort of intentional communities, gossip is a real powerful thing. There's been entire, academic essays written about how gossip was kind of considered a woman's activity. We think of gossiping, and so gossip has kind of been poo-pooed by the male academic society, but really, gossip is a very powerful tool of preserving, of passing information along, of retaining information. And, in your intro, I just kept thinking, oh my God, this camp, the gossip would have been thick that's her husband who just showed up and now she's fucking, and this dude wants to be this guy's dad, and now, oh shit, everybody's just back with their popcorn, just like, oh, what's happening in that tent? Because you're living 3 feet away from each other and you have nothing to look at except each other's faces.
The thing is that, like, there's no way they didn't know that Shane and Lori were fucking. Like, you can't not know, right? When you're in a tight group of people, you know when two people, like,
kind of.
Not even an affair, but you know when two people are,
they
like...
just wander off around the same time every day or every other day to be together. You know something's up.
Yeah, you're like, man, Shane and Lori do kind of disappear at the same time a lot. Like, we find ourselves looking after Carl, and the two of them are gone. You just know, and that's what gossip leads you to. So there's no way people wouldn't know. I was just thinking, I was in Rome recently on vacation, and I was listening to Ciao, I was listening to a Rick Steves audio guide, and
fun.
It was really fun, and like walking through a part of town. But Rick says in one of the things, he was talking about how close all the alleys are and how close the windows are, and you sort of imagine the way in which people in Italian cities, especially in Rome too, there is no Italian word for privacy. The word for privacy is just taken from the English privacy. But it's but the idea would be, he was like, that's just the metaphor to point out that, like, you have to know that look at how close everyone lives together, and especially in a time where windows are open, like, everyone knows everybody's deal. You know the fights, you know the loves, you know the stories, you know that they're going through grief, you know that they're going through happiness. And that's just how tight communities are, and I would imagine the people in the woods have to have known.
Well, and especially in a Roman Catholic-centered society, you're going to see everybody on Sunday, and you're going to see who's doing confession and who's not. You're like, I know you were up to some bullshit on Wednesday.
Yep.
And now you're just sitting here. Oh.
Okay. Well, we'll get to the camp in a second, but we're going to go back to Atlanta. And we're going to meet Glenn in a second, but it's Glenn who's on this radio call. Glenn's a young man, kind of a professional thief in a way, right? Don't we learn that he's like shoplifts a lot? He knows how to hotwire a Mustang later.
Yeah. He's for using our Dungeons and Dragons, he's the what? He's not a bard. He's the rogue. He's the he's the like cheeky thief who has morals. You know, like, we learn very early on that, one, he doesn't let Rick just like rot in the tank. And he says at one point, they kind of run from he's like, listen, you got to go right now. And we have kind of a harrowing, like, run from the zombie. Like, if you come meet me in this alley and then we can get out of here. So shoot, zombie. And there's a moment where Steve and Rick have a conversation. And Rick is like, why did you save me? And Glenn is like, well, I would like to think that if I were in your spot, somebody would save me. So you're like, oh, okay. So you have like a big mouth, but you're one of the goodies. You're on the good side.
So he kind of tells him, like, your only option is like this one side. If you go to your right, coming out of the top of that tank, you can
they're all eating the horse on the other side.
Yeah. So go to the opposite side of the horse, run about 50 yards down. You're going to see an alleyway. Meet you there. Go. Rick along the way has to like go full first-person shooter video game to shoot all these zombies.
Okay, I will say Rick has excellent aim.
Yep.
Because one-handed,
running.
not even a second, but like one-handed, one shot, one kill every time.
Yeah.
Every time?
Sure.
I guess he is a trained professional.
Yeah, we make it up the fire escape and then up what looks to be like another 10 stories of just outdoor ladder up the side of the building.
And it's kind of like they're going like the up inside, and then we find ourselves in a department store.
Yeah.
With a ragtag group of misfits.
Uh-huh.
One of whom is very angry that Rick has done something.
Yeah, so this is Andrea that immediately draws a gun on Rick.
She's like, you've killed us all. He's like,
because...
I don't even know who you are. I didn't know you were here.
Yeah, because all of his shooting has drawn the zombies to the department store, and so then now they're like pounding on the walls. They know that the living are there.
How do they know that, Jeffrey?
The sound, I guess.
Of what? They're in a building.
I know.
Like, the sound is outside. How do these zombies know that there's people in that building?
I don't really know the rules about, like, can you just hide and lay low and be quiet and the zombies will go away? Because there's
like,
a thing.
There is some, we get to the smell thing, which I get.
Yeah.
But they're in a 12-story department store. There's a horse and a tank and stuff happening outside, but they've gone up and over. The zombies aren't. Huh? Why do the zombies think you're in that building?
I think because this is going to be dealing with. Is it this episode or? Yeah, it's this episode where we're dealing with the guts.
How do we get this? It's kind of like what happens over the course of one afternoon, because we're only on day 2 of Rick Grimes being out in the world.
Yeah,
he's having a long ass day today.
Yeah. Well,
how do we get out of a locked building?
Yeah, and so this is whereas episode 1 dealt with the sound drawing the zombies. We mentioned the sound, but ultimately it's the smell that draws the zombies here. There's also another problem. It's not just Andrea who backs off.
Yeah.
Up on the roof is Merle Dixon.
And
he is just snipering walkers from the top of this roof, which is really kind of unnerving because it makes me think of like the University of Texas, like tower sniper. It makes me think of like mass shooter sort of feel.
Yeah, and he's giggling about it the entire time. And, we've kind of already established the like ammo is, I think literally Rick even says like ammo goes faster than you think.
Yeah.
So why are you just shooting zombies that are 600 yards away?
I don't love this character. I don't know where this character is going to go. I mean, it just feels a little bit like rage bait to me for a soap opera, right? Like it's a little bit like we need you to be really mad because at some point in time we're going to show that he is kind of, I don't know if they do this or not, but it just feels like we either going to set up that there's a giant character turn or that they're also useful so it's hard to let them go or they're just rage bait so we can watch them get theirs. But my thought is, it's one thing to have like this, because we're going to see the way he talks to and treats T-Dog, one of 2 black people in the group, who he calls him the N-word. He beats him within an inch of his life, threatens to kill him. I'm like, okay, so you're obviously a crazy white supremacist, but also like you shooting zombies from the roof? Like, why is Andrea mad at fucking Rick Grimes and not being like, we have to get rid of this guy because he's just subtract the racism. He's just a liability in our group.
Like, which makes me wonder, we're going to learn by the end of this episode, clearly these people are a satellite of the camp.
Uh-huh.
Why are you camping with these people? Why are these people letting you camp with them? Again, like, I know it's the end of the world, and what's interesting is we don't know how much time has passed since, quote, the fall of humanity to now. We know that, I'm assuming, grocery store, like they've eaten all the, they're hunting and shit. They're foraging for mushrooms that they don't even know what to look for, which is a terrible idea, but okay, sure. But you're not even in the like, let's loot the Walmart. You know what they have a lot of in suburban Georgia? Fucking grocery stores and Walmarts and Costco's but I guess we assume they value the secrecy of the gorge or the what do you call it? It's a thing with water at the bottom. Cove. No. Wherever the
ravine.
fuck they're at.
The ravine.
Yes. Whatever the fuck that thing is called. Where you mine and then there's like water at the bottom and that's a big cliff.
Quarry?
Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Like they revere the secrecy of that more. They're like, let's go out and like just shoot a deer and live, primitive style off the land rather than trying to like pillage. And also, why are they pillaging in the middle of downtown fucking Atlanta? You know what Atlanta has a lot of? Suburbs that go on for miles.
Yeah, I don't fully understand that because in the city, you're not. The grocery stores aren't quite as robust as the suburbs. And also, like, if you're looking for weapons, the suburbs of Atlanta, I would imagine, are going to have some Walmarts with rifles and bullets at them.
You can find a Bass Pro Shop
Yep.
at any outlet mall in America.
Yeah, and so I think in that way, they're like the survival plot line of this zombie world doesn't make total sense to go into downtown Atlanta so much. And also, I think just the survival plot line of like, we need these two fucking assholes in our group.
Yeah.
It feels very 2010 to me, as in like, here's how we're going to deal with race. And also, here's how we're going to deal with what racism looks like.
Sure.
And not to say that racism does not exist, but it's just to say that I think in the 15 years that have followed since the initial making of this show,
Our conversation of race is different, or
way more
nuanced
granular.
differently.
Yeah.
This is kind of like, we get the idea that from Merle's, dialogue, that it's like, this is sort of a prison racism of, listen, you are over there, I'm over here, but if there's something that we need, we can work together just long enough to get it, and then you go back to there and I'm over here, and that's the way God intended it.
But the moment you have somebody in your group beating the shit out of somebody just because they are black, you're like, no, absolutely not.
Like, I call you up against the tribal like, no, you've been voted off the island.
Yeah, because you also know that like their hatred and their short fuse, it could extend well beyond race, but even beyond that, it's like you're going to lose the trust of any non-white person in your group too.
Yeah.
Anyways, I find this whole character to be infuriating that it's here, but I also know that it's 15 years ago, and this is just where our conversations were around this topic.
And I think in the timeline of this TV show, we're not quite into the Cormac McCarthy's The Road period just yet, in which all these people have kind of found each other and made their own camps.
Yeah.
And all the nice people are like just huddling for their lives.
That makes total sense. We're early on enough in the zombie apocalypse time that you're just, anybody is welcome because we're just trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
Anyways, all of this is to say we're covering the first 3 episodes. I haven't seen anything else of it, so any complaint I have is just in the moment that I'm in now. All right, so we've got a couple of plans. We could try and escape through the sewers. That's
really
kind of a
work.
no-go. That doesn't work. There's already a zombie down there eating a rat. But there is a moment when Grimes shows up and meets Merle. When Merle attacks T-Dog, Grimes is like, fuck you, beats the shit out of him, handcuffs Merle to whatever pipe on the roof, and he's going to spend most of the rest of the episode handcuffed to that fucking thing.
Like, he puts him in timeout.
Yeah, he definitely puts him in cop timeout. So this is going to lead to Rick's crazy plan. Hey, they smell us the way we smell them. They can smell livingness in the way we can smell death. I don't think that's how that works, but I like the thinking. I mean,
I get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I know when you go hunting, don't you put like scent on? Did you put like bear scent on you or something like that? But also, again, this is me in 2010 watching this TV show, and I'm like, Shaun of the Dead. This is literally a scene from Shaun of the Dead.
Okay, great. Have not watched that for the show yet. So there you go.
This like, what if we just pretend to be zombies? The zombies won't notice we're not zombies. to comedic effect rather than the suspense effect.
It is slightly dry comic here because they have to take one of the zombie bodies that they killed and like hack it to bits and throw its organs all over themselves.
What do you think about Rick's little eulogy for our dead man zombie here? I thought it was gilding the lily. I'm like,
I did too.
Yo, you can't mourn every fucking like human zombie. Like, you can't, sir. I know you just woke up. I know you were literally born yesterday. And this is very nice of you. But we have got to go.
It felt unearned. It felt wedged in. Like, not unearned, because I get that that's, we watched him, like, put the legless zombie woman out of her misery in the park in episode 1. So,
he's on a mission to release these people from their pain.
Yeah.
Like God intended.
Yeah. I get that. I just think, I don't know where this falls in the graphic novel, in the beats, but there's just something here where I'm like, I think maybe you can have that beat at a different, more, like, pensive moment, a time when you have room to stretch your legs and think about life and whatever else, but it just felt weird.
Yeah, for me it was the like, someday I'm gonna tell my son about George Smith right here.
Yeah.
And then literally the next episode he meets his son. I was like, did you tell him about George Smith?
Nope.
Did you? I didn't see it. So, which again, what?
Yeah.
Christians performing virtue for each other, and then just kind of like, you're like, okay, yeah, that was the zombie. We escaped. Huh? I love my son. I love my wife.
Glenn and Rick are going to make a slow dash, pretending to be zombies, to go get these
like a box
truck.
Yeah.
Because they know that they keep the keys on a little panel on the wall that's unlocked. So they're going to do that. He does give T-Dog the key to Merle's handcuffs, because T-Dog is a little bit like, I know he hates me because of the color of my skin, but also he's a human being, cannot leave a person behind. But T-Dog is struggling to know what to do. So T-Dog goes and sits up there and, like, taunts him a little bit just by being there.
Well, also T-Dog is in charge of, like, trying to get anybody on the radio.
Yeah, because he has to sit on the roof. Yeah. Okay, so we've got...
And I love it, but it's kind of silly. They've got, like, hands, like, sausages just, like, wrapped around them.
There's also this question of, how do zombie virus work? Like, because he makes a comment like, don't get any on your skin or your eyes. I'm like, listen, I don't care how popped your trench coat collar is.
Yeah.
You're getting some of that on you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious. Is it only from teeth into skin that
they're
you
like
actually
dab? Because I think that's what I can't remember. Is it 28 Days? One of them is like, it's in the saliva.
Yeah.
There's some zombie movie that's like...
I think it's 28 Days Later, yeah.
No, because I think somebody gets like a drop of blood in their eye.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Brendan Gleeson does get the drop comes down. Yeah.
Like the single drop, which is such an iconic moment. But yeah, I know others have been like, oh, it's in the saliva that carries it on. But yeah, you're right. You're like, this seems messy.
Yeah.
But it's working. It's totally working.
But that thunderstorm's been brewing this whole episode. And they got to make a mad fucking dash for it, because it's washing away all of the awful from them. Mm-hmm. The zombies figure it out. Big chase. They climb the fence. They get into the car. Just escape just in time. I don't fully understand this, but they also have time to hotwire a red muscle car.
Well, they drive away.
Yeah.
Because somebody in the building says, oh my God, they're leaving us. So they drive the box truck away and kind of get far enough away that they can, like, they've kind of left the slow walking zombies behind. But the plan is to, hotwire this Mustang, which apparently you can do with a screwdriver.
Yeah, I was noting that.
Okay, sure. I suppose so. And then they're going to, like, use that as a decoy, gather the zombies with the fast car, roll the slow truck in, load everybody up, get the fuck out. But as we go on, we do kind of learn, we're like, what? Wait, you're now driving you're driving a fast car. But how do you turn fast car alarm off?
Yeah, that seemed weird to me. I wasn't sure about a car alarm that continues going off while you're driving at 80 miles an hour on a freeway.
Well, I was like, well, just stop, get into truck, continue driving. But, we have to we got to, he loves that car. And it's this kind of like, you get the feeling that in a show that is going to be a lot of losses, I think literally they're like, well, somebody's having a good day. Like, you need to have moments of joy or levity, or else you're just in the movie Hereditary, Like, you need to see a character enjoying winning or having a plan succeed, or else it's just too bleak.
Yeah. You need a life worth fighting for.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. A lot of the stuff around this car doesn't make sense because they also smash out the driver's side window to get in. And then there's moments where he's like driving through mobs of zombies and they're pounding on the windshield. I'm like, just reach in through the driver's side window, which isn't there.
Yeah.
Okay, so they manage to get the box truck. They get back to the loading dock at the department store. Everybody out, get down. Up on the roof, they're all making a dash for it. T-Dog takes the handcuff key out to save Merle, but he trips and it falls down a drain. And sorry, dude. Bye.
But he does take the moment as he leaves to chain and padlock the door to the roof.
Yes, to help keep the zombies from walkers from getting him.
So he's going to die an even slower, more painful death.
He's going to die of exposure, basically, at this point.
That sounds fun.
Uh-huh. And obviously, this is no good for Merle. But we do see a moment where T-Dog accidentally drops in his panic to get out of that building. He accidentally drops the tool bag.
It's like a bag of tools, which has a hacksaw.
All right. Our last shots are just basically walkers taking over that building and fucking Merle left screaming on the rooftop.
Oh, no.
Episode 3, final episode of what we're talking about on this show is episode 3, Tell It to the Frogs.
Starts with Merle again, and he is babbling. He is delirious.
Yeah. He's
talking
like
to people that aren't there.
Remembering the good times when he was getting in fights with people, knock somebody's teeth out.
Like, I think he was like in jail. He got put in jail, but according to him, it was worth it to see that person get knocked out. And then it gets real quiet. And we have what, Martin Scorsese calls the God shot, the like above the overhead shot. And then he just starts crying to baby Jesus about how bad he's been.
Please show me the way. I know this is punishment.
I know I
Please.
was bad.
But then he sees the hacksaw. And he's like, never mind. Fuck you. I ain't going to beg you.
Right.
Which is a very funny turnaround.
Credits.
All right. So now we're going to get into kind of the heart of what I was feeling like this season is going to be a lot of soap opera.
Yeah.
And who knows how long. I kind of know because, by the way, just a quick aside, I don't want to belabor this point, but like, man, TV shows trying to, like as you said earlier, trying to find just the cast list.
Yeah.
What I really want Wikipedia to do is to be able, and to some extent IMDb, just show me season 1. Here's the cast. Don't give me any information. I just want to know
like
character, Rick Grimes, actor,
Yes.
Andrew Lincoln. He's in this season that you're looking up.
Yeah.
But the Wikipedia has this beautiful chart of every actor and major actor and character, but it's a chart that extends how many seasons that they're in. I'm like, well, now I know looking down how long Lori Grimes is going to be on this show.
Yep.
Now I know how long Dale is going to be on this show. Who the fuck Dale is? Who's Dale? Some guy. He's one of the guys in the group. Anyways, Carl. Oh, look, Carl. He makes it to episode blank.
Oh, okay.
Great.
That's sweet. Yeah.
I don't know what happens in that episode or season blank. Anyhow, yeah, we've got this soap opera of like we're seeing Shane being like, "Hey, little buddy Carl," very much going full stepdad with him.
Full stepdad.
I'm gonna teach you how to catch some frogs.
how to catch frogs. Stop squirming. Your mom's trying to cut your hair. Har.
I really like
from the South.
Undercurrent. Until I didn't, but I really liked the undercurrent of like who's doing the work.
Yeah.
Because it starts with him just being a good old buddy stepdad to his son, who is, Mom, I hate it when you cut my hair. But it's Mom who's doing the practical day-to-day work. And we're going to see
She's hanging laundry. She's going foraging for food.
And we're going to kind of see the way in which especially it really focuses on the women doing the work that get us through day-to-day sort of stuff. I remember a while back, somebody I was talking to at a party, this is quite a while back, who's married, making some comment about, like, I've never, I can think of maybe 2 times I've ever ordered anything off of Amazon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I was like, oh, wow, that seems amazing to survive in the world without being able to, like, order. I know, great, good job by you.
Yeah.
But then it came up where, like, somebody's like not even, like, household things, like cleaners and paper towels and just shit you need.
And they're like,
does your wife order those things? They're like, well, she'll order the things we need for the house. I'm like, well, then you're ordering shit off of Amazon. But you're like completely... Your wife's doing the stuff you're just not doing.
You're not pressing the button, but you're benefiting from the work
that your wife put in.
That shit is still coming from your joint checking account. You're ordering it.
You're ordering it. Your wife is just doing the work to get it sent to you. So you don't get to be like, well, that just magically happens. Those things just appear. And that's kind of how this camp is.
Or even worse, the egregious, like, the morality of, like, I don't order from Amazon. Bitch.
You do.
If I opened your drawers and found 10 things that were bought from Amazon, no, you did not press the button, but you funded it.
Yep. But so that's kind of the dynamic in this camp of the men, mostly in this case, not really doing a whole fuck ton. A lot of times when we see the men, they're just talking about shit they're gonna do.
They're policing.
They're policing. That's what Shane does.
They're hunting. Yeah, we do have one
Daryl
person is
out hunting.
One person is hunting. And also scavenging.
Well, I thought that was interesting too, because Lori and Amy in the camp are foraging mushrooms, and Amy's like, I forget how to tell which ones are the non-poisonous, and Lori's like, well, we'll just ask Shane. But, like, Shane keeps all the information. He controls all of the procedures and the protocol. Yeah. Anyhow, found that really interesting.
And also the sort of the, quote, good men are the, like, fixing the mechanics.
Yes.
They're tinkering with motors. That's what men do. They hunt, they tinker with motors. Women wash things and dig in the dirt for things.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's when Rick arrives at the camp here, you know, we have the reunion with his wife, and you see a lot of shots of Lori and Shane looking at each other like, well, what happens now? But Rick also is one of the people, when he wakes up the next morning, the character Carol, who's married to Shitty Ed, I think is the guy's name.
I like Shitty Ed. Shitty
Ed. Anyways, Carol hands him his clothes that have been cleaned. He's like, you wash these? She's like, yeah. She's like, it's not as good as my Maytag back home, but, a washboard will do. And he's like, thank you. Rick is the person who kind of sees the dynamic. Whether he'll do anything about it, I don't know, but he definitely understands.
It's the appreciation of everybody. If everybody does their part and is happy doing their part, then the tribe functions as a whole.
Yes.
But when shitty people start being shitty, you got to do something about it.
Yeah.
It's football season, and you can now get almost anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a running back delivered, but you can get baby back ribs delivered. A strong defense? No. A strong deodorant? Yes. A six-pack of abs? Nope. Six-pack of beer? Yes. Get almost anything for game day delivered with Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Alcohol 21 plus and in select cities. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Año nuevo. Los mismos extra value meals en McDonald's. Ahora te puedes llevar 2 snack wraps y papitas y una bebida mediana por solo $8. Solo por tiempo limitado. Precios y participación pueden variar. Los precios pueden ser más altos en Hawaii, Alaska y California y con entrega.
One of the things we've learned about Merle is that he has a brother named Daryl Dixon, who is back, who's been back at the camp, and Daryl has been on a hunt. So Daryl doesn't know that his brother got handcuffed to the roof of a building.
Yep.
Go on. You had a thing to say?
This TV show doesn't spend a lot of time on the what if we just don't tell option.
No.
You know, like they say it, but they don't really consider it. You know, I think we all know that Rick is going to have to go back and fucking do the thing. Like, he's just too good, you know? Which is why, like, lawful good protagonists are just, like, the most boring characters. Because you're like, God damn it. What if the, like, five of us are just like, oh, no, he died. Oh, he died. He sacrificed his life. No, of course, we know that he's going to escape, and he's probably going to come back and, like, fuck them all up. And then you're caught in a lie. So that's shitty.
But also, even if you told the truth, he's going to come back and fuck you all up.
Yeah. You're like, he was acting crazy, and we couldn't get him out because of his crazy. He started attacking us, and so we left him because he was attacking us. Oh, you want to go save your brother? Goodbye.
Hey, here's the keys to this brand new Mustang. Have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
Well, and also, Daryl's a shitty hunter. I know he killed this deer, but he just, like, left the deer carcass.
I think he was approaching it. And I think I get the impression Daryl is, I think we see him when he's mad. Because clearly, you know, you would be, but he doesn't cross the line the way his brother does.
Yeah. His brother,
Like he does, like he gets really riled up and he's heated in the moment, but it never crosses over into villainous.
No.
Which is why
we don't see that here. Yeah.
He gets his own spinoff, which is the only thing I know about this character.
Okay, great. I did not know that.
He
but
literally gets his own TV show from this TV show.
Daryl doesn't step over the same lines that Merle did in the previous episode.
Yeah.
So
he's also
while he is a hothead,
he's real handy with that crossbow. So he has use.
Yeah, I think if we had just met him first, I think I would have been like, okay, I think I can deal with.
Yeah.
Because he wants to fight. Oh, no, I take it back. I think it's the moment he draws the knife on Rick.
Yeah.
I think that for me was where I was getting really annoyed with this. Because I'm like, you can't threaten lives here unless, you know, there's a moment in episode 1 where Rick tells the boy Dwayne when he gives him a gun,
you need to mean it.
Yeah, you need to mean it. And that's a true thing about you don't draw a gun on somebody unless you're willing to kill. And don't draw a knife on somebody unless you're willing to kill, because you've escalated it to the point where now violence, murder is our answer. And so I think for the drama, drawing a knife makes the fight scene seem more high stakes. But also it kind of ruins this notion that, like, no, you're not viable for this camp anymore. Unless we are a camp that wants to have more, you know, mob rule, meaning like you've lost, so now you are on kangaroo court trial. We're going to kill you.
I don't think they know what they want. This is what I'm gathering, is that it's like they're all just happy to see other warm-bodied people.
Yeah.
Because we got shitty Eric, shitty Dave, whatever the fuck his name is,
shitty Ed.
Shitty Ed. We got shitty Ed over here, which, you know, we have this moment with, like, he wants to put a log on a fire and he just doesn't. He's like, you stay over at your campfire and you don't tell me what to do. It's a cold night. And he's like, no, we have rules.
Yeah.
Thanks for having this conversation the nice way. And he's like, yeah, I guess take the log. You know, maybe it's time for you to be moving on.
And again, going back to that this is a brand new world. If I looked at where we were a month into, say, COVID, I would look back and be like, okay, I was like taking like Lysol wipes to my mail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Spending 3 hours a day doom scrolling.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not a good idea for my brain. I don't know.
We're all new at this, so we're still trying to figure out what's worthwhile, and it's not really in us yet to, you know, my mindset in watching The Walking Dead is I'm in video game rule, as in like, I don't need you. Murder. You're done.
Yes, that's a done.
Done. I'm not dealing with this shit.
I mean, what? Is the cops going to come?
Yeah.
Like we have to have that, like, oh my God, the conversation about the mermaid necklace.
Oh my
where
God.
they're like, do you think it's okay to loot? And they're like, I don't think that matters anymore. I'm like, yeah, no fucking shit. Take the pendant.
Kind of the core conflict here is between Rick and Lori.
Yeah.
This is where we get the real soap opera of like, husband's returned back. She's a little cold and she's dealing with some stuff and she doesn't know how to communicate it to him yet. And we know kind of on the surface, like, I've been sleeping with your best friend.
Yeah.
He's been kind of taking over. He took your place.
But also, why did they just leave him in a hospital bed?
Yeah. I have to think I would sort of understand that I was like left for dead.
Yes. No, it makes sense. They don't dwell on it. But I do think it's interesting that when Lori and what's his name, John Barenthal, have their moment by the pond, they're like, you told me he died.
Yeah.
You told me my husband was dead.
And that's the big reveal.
He was as good as dead, but not. Because I thought about that in the first episode. I was like, y'all didn't swing by the hospital?
It's sort of like the Merle thing. I think there's an easy lie here.
Yeah.
And this gets a little bit muddied.
That's because you and I are villains, Jeffrey. You and I are assholes.
I just wanted more clarification that Shane knew Rick was alive and refused to save him. Because in my mind, until she said, and I get what they're getting at, that like they're implying that he did know Rick could still be alive but didn't do anything about it. But in my thought was like, we saw what happened to that hospital.
Yeah, like it was bad.
And it's like, that is a death mission.
Yeah.
And every room, listen, I'm willing to give any episode 1 full passes on plot questions. Like, why is this guy flying? I don't know. When we met him, he can fly.
He flies in the pilot.
Yeah. Why didn't they eat him in that room that surely wasn't locked? Why didn't they step in and eat
because somebody put a bed in front of the door, Jeffrey.
Yeah, they obviously can't move that.
No,
even though they can break plate glass window or heavy glass windows at a department store. So I get that, but I feel like the assumption that he was dead in that hospital would have been a good one, because even the military parked outside of that hospital, they're gone too.
So like what Lori tells Carl is like, we just told him his father died, because it's better to be like, well, your father was in a coma and we ran away from him because there were a lot of zombies. We couldn't get to him, so we're just going to think in our minds. Yeah,
she sort of accepted whatever Shane said, and it's sad because you don't get to see the body. You don't get to see the person die or their body itself, which is such an important part of that kind of like closure and grief.
Well, that's why she brought the photo albums, Jeffrey.
That's right.
Which, again, going back to this like very gendered, like those women and their photo albums.
Oh, yeah.
Because women are the ones through matriarchal storytelling, aka gossip, preserve continuity. Like, they're the ones who remember, because the men are all out like dying, tripping over deer and falling down rocks.
Yeah.
So the women have to be like, oh, I remember him. Yeah, he only lived to the age of this. Did you know he had a son? Really? He had a son? Oh, let me tell you about him.
I think Lori, Sarah Wayne Callies, is that how you say her name? The woman who plays Lori. She's great. I think she perfectly portrays a woman.
Yeah.
It's not a woman with a secret. It's a woman who doesn't quite know how to broach a lot of moving parts in their story, in their drama.
Well, and we hear the first thing we hear about her in literally scene 2 in episode 1 is Rick Grimes is like, she said, do you even care about this family, in front of the kid? Can you imagine that? I would never say that in front. So already we've got Rick is like, again, knight on a shining hill, and his wife as complicated,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
Maybe not as blindly committed to the cause of good and right and righteousness and Jesus and puppies as her husband.
There's a lot of deeper things to the pre-Walker era that we can't know just yet about what has happened in their relationship, because clearly a lot of trust has been eroded.
Yeah.
In the way that he talks about in episode 1, scene 2, to Shane about like, listen, even when I do try and open up, it just makes her mad. She doesn't want to hear it. And then like on some form, you could say, well, that's going to happen. And anger and pain are going to come out when you open up. That's what vulnerability is. But part of it is like, she's got some hangups too. And one of the things we do sort of understand is that she very clearly did not like his absence and his need to do everything else for everybody away from home, but not be home.
Yeah, he's out making the streets safe for every single person. And she's like, well, I guess I just have to hang out here until
Raise
you
a
get
child.
back, or don't, because of your dangerous job.
And it's interesting because, like, Shane has come into her life with this real, like, fuckboy stepdaddy energy.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably way more than what Rick was offering, in that Shane is, like, present in the family. This is my assumption here, or what I'm reading into it. But also Shane still has some of that same issue, which is that, like, he's being a hero for the smaller family, not the world, but, like, for this community. But still, it's like, what if we both broke down dinner together, you know, cooked and washed dishes and cleaned together?
Sure.
What if we did things as a core family and nurtured each other rather than like, your responsibility is to all 12 of us in this camp?
Yeah.
Lori kind of loses it in a weird way. Like, as Rick is like, as everyone's talking about, Daryl wants to go back into the city to save his brother. Rick hasn't said shit yet, and Lori's like, well, I bet Rick wants to go, don't you, Rick? I guess I do.
Yeah.
With that attitude, I kind of do.
So we get Daryl and Rick and
Glenn?
Glenn needs to, again, we need our rogue to lead us in, lead us out. And then T-Bone, is that his name?
T-Dog.
T-Dog. Because he feels truly guilty about, he's like, I dropped the thing, I'm responsible as well. Mm-hmm. Good for you.
It is interesting that the comparison between T-Dog's action here to be like, I feel bad.
I need to atone,
even though you're the abused, not the abuser.
Right.
And it's similar to our final scenes here back in the camp, which is Carol and Shitty Ed.
Yeah.
Ed is going to be just like Merle is the like overt caricature of a white supremacist.
Yeah.
Psychopath, like a person, or a sociopath, like a person who just like is like flaunting their lack of empathy. Ed does that while the women are washing clothes in the river, and he hears them laughing because they're like, oh, I kind of miss my vibrator. That'd be great.
Yeah.
He comes over and is just smoking a cigarette, staring at them, telling them like, this, don't be
You're
laughing while you're
too
working.
much. Yeah. How dare you have fun? I hate my shitty life. You must hate your shitty lives as well.
Shitty Ed is absolutely rage bait. Andrea tries to stand up to him, and he ends up slapping, punching Carol, his wife. And it's Shane who comes over there and beats the living fuck out of Shitty Ed.
Well, because he's clearly mad about something else.
Yes.
But he's taking it out on Shitty Ed.
Yes.
Which, can't say I blame him.
No.
But again,
it is,
you now have to live with this person in your camp.
You are creating a violence there. Not to say Shitty Ed doesn't deserve his head pounded into a rock.
Sure.
I would also say that be cool to have that same energy around fucking Merle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're right. It's not about, Shane isn't behaving out of righteousness. He's behaving in the way that, which is really interesting because we're going to see through the 2010s in our world, what are cops? What kind of...
Wait. Wait, what happens when...
What do we give cops?
What happens if you, like, actually film cops?
Yeah.
What happens when you, like, notice what they're doing all the time? And even not all cops, but all cops maybe know a cop that has done something that... What? Cops just use their power to do things that they just want to do?
Are they also just human, a lot of men, and that are human that have real emotions and maybe transferring those emotions into their job?
Yeah.
And so anyway, so like, I'm not saying that morally I don't love watching shitty Ed getting shit kicked out of him, but there is, like, all the women are like, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. And it's Carol that runs to Ed saying, I'm so sorry, which is a really tragic byproduct of an abusive relationship. But it is a little bit like I couldn't help but think that with T-Dog of like, you're also a victim of this society that is protecting this man who has been abusing you.
Well, guess what? They make it into Atlanta.
They did it.
They make it up to the roof.
We don't really see how, but they do.
Well, like, we just assume that Glenn has his ways, and that under normal circumstances, they can sneak in quietly, and the zombies have dispersed.
Truth.
But this is a wild cliffhanger. I think we all knew he wasn't going to be there, and we're like, where did he go? But the fact he cut off his own hand, and
awesome reveal,
and not the handcuff.
Yes. That makes no fucking sense, but I goddamn loved it.
Okay.
It brought it back to graphic novel for me, which I really loved.
Oh, it was very visual, that reveal. Very, yeah.
Because you pan down, because we saw the fucking hacksaw fell out of the bag.
Well, I mean, he was begging. He's like, hey, go get me that hacksaw over there, you know?
And so when the camera pans down to show just the empty handcuff, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And then it pans down more, and then because the handcuff is still sealed shut.
Yeah.
And then there's the hand on the ground.
Why did you not do the pipe?
I mean, it's definitely setting up. We knew it from the moment he dropped the N-bomb.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, this man's wheels have already come off. Like, he's not right for this world. He's not right for the good guys.
He's going to be trouble for all of them. Yeah. As long as he's alive, he's going to be trouble.
Yeah.
Which, again, I'm like, oh, no, he died.
Oh, no. We're full comic book here. This is what we're doing. So it's good times. I had a blast. The end of episode 3. That's all we're covering for this show.
Hey, listen, I feel like this is a really solid 3-episode arc.
We got
the fall of humanity. We got the I'm looking for my wife and kid. Mm-hmm. I found some people that accidentally know my wife and kid. I'm reunited with my wife and kid, but then I must leave them again because I am, I don't know, go kill another horse in the line of duty.
All right, well, let us rate this TV show, shall we? I'm going to give the first 3 episodes of The Walking Dead. I'm going to talk about approachability. If you're horror movie squeamish on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all approachable, 10 being very approachable. I'm going to give these first 3 episodes, I'm going to say 4 out of 10 hot-wired muscle cars, maybe 5. It's very, I don't quite know how to put my finger on it. Because it's a TV show, it's not that the gore isn't there. It's not that the scares aren't there or that the tension isn't there. It's really tense watching them walk through the crowd of zombies slowly or him having to go in the darkened stairwell. And there are some jump scares and things like that. But there's something about a TV show that is a little bit easier to watch because I think it's not strung as tightly as a film. Because a film's got 90 minutes or however long. If you're the Swarm, you've got 185 minutes. Yeah. But
the length of a Bible.
Yeah. But in this, TV shows have to pace themselves. Yeah. And so I would say 5 out of 10.
The gore and violence are very much parceled.
Yeah.
So you have little pockets that kind of come and go, and then you're back into pretty well lit, pretty people.
Yeah. Engaging
in scripted scenes.
Yeah. So content warnings for child death. horse death, blood and gore, white supremacy, domestic violence, aftermath of a suicide, some jump scares and tension and all that I mentioned. So yeah, let's say 5 out of 10 hot-wired muscle cars. Cecil, to speak nothing of approachability, how do you rate this as a horror television program?
As a horror TV show, I'm so conflicted on this. Like, I remember watching this and thinking, this is very good. This is maybe not for me. I watched my one season and I went, cool. I'm going to do something else for a bit because I'm like, oh, that's just like 28 Days Later. Oh, that's just like Night of the Living Dead. Oh, that's just like Shaun of the Dead. And I'm not saying it's not original. I think it's just there was a time when Hollywood fucking loved zombies so hard they just beat the horse to death and it zombified. And then they beat it to death as many ways they could possibly do it. And then it became, how can we creatively look at zombies again? So it's interesting going back and watching it. I think it's good TV. But am I going to watch all 12 seasons? Maybe not. So for that reasons, I would give this, I'll give it 7 out of 10 stop and go Atlanta interstates.
Perfect. Let's figure out a movie we're going to watch next. You've got a scare die. I've got a style die. We'll roll those dice up and see what movie matches those two things. Cecil, on your scare die, if you roll a 1, our next movie scares technology. 2, vampire. 3, demonic. 4, a wild card. That's been on there 19 weeks. 5, psycho killer. Or 6, something cursed. What is our scare?
That's a 3.
Demonic. It's been on there for
demon.
6 weeks. Okay, great. All right, we're going to match up your demonic with the style that I roll. If I roll a 1, it's got to be based on a true story. 2, it's got to have a 5+ word title. That's been on there 14 weeks. That's our longest running thing in style. 3, it's got to be from the 1990s. 4, in Espanol. 5, a prestige horror. Or 6, a horror comedy. Let's see what we've got here. Demonic meets style. That is a 5, prestige demonique.
Oh.
That's been on there for 5 weeks, that prestige.
This will be interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so we wrote down a couple of thoughts here that were demonic meets prestige, and we also are at Random Horror 9 on Letterboxd. You can check out our lists there, and we put lists up of all the possible die rolls, and you can leave comments to add movies that we might have missed. So here's what we wrote down on prestige demonic. Prestige, by the way, we kind of meant
A-list actors,
budget, A-list actors, directors, something that was heavily marketed. So it doesn't necessarily need to be great. Like The Swarm, which we covered last week, would have been a prestige film because of the people involved, the marketing put into it. But
I feel like we owe our fans, we owe them one for the prestige choice of the Mephisto Waltz.
Yes, and I think...
Because we were like, Alan Alda, he's famous. Jacqueline Bisset, she's famous. Oh, no, this movie.
Yeah, and also movies, I think, that just over time have become prestigious in their own way. Okay, so here's what we wrote down. Constantine.
I mean, you ready for another comic book?
Yep. Hellboy is also...
I mean, that first Hellboy is real good.
It is real good.
That first Hellboy is... Actually, the first and second Hellboys are real good.
We've also got The Prophecy
I
from
will admit,
1995.
This is kind of this may be the one that I'm pulling for.
Okay.
Because it's the whole idea that it's like the angels. Christopher Walken is an angel, but he's the bad guy. And the devil is in it, and it's Viggo Mortensen, and he's real fucking sexy. But it's like kind of the flipped version of like, angels are good, demons are bad. And this one, it's like, no, these angels are out to kill humans.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never seen this movie, but it looks great. It looks really interesting. We've also got End of Days from 1999.
Listen, it has Arnold Schwarzenegger and Gabriel Byrne, Kevin Pollak. These are all names. Miriam Margolyes, Udo Kier. These are all names you know. I've not seen this movie since it came out, and I remember going, what? Arnold Schwarzenegger is saving us from the biblical apocalypse?
Sure.
I guess so.
I like the opening synopsis on Just Watch. Cynical bodyguard Jericho is hired by a man possessed by Satan who is in search of his bride.
What?
Beautiful. Finally, we have Hour of the Wolf, if we want to go full Swedish.
This is full Swedish art house, and it's kind of more of the, like, demons as a metaphor. But I think there are some actual demons in this movie. It's, you know, there's some scary shit, but it's much more European art house cinema.
Yeah, a couple of Bergman's movies are sort of that horror-adjacent art housey sort of thing, and we've yet to cover them, but maybe someday we will.
But it is kind of about a man who's running from demons.
Yeah. Great. All right, so let's talk about what people on Letterboxd had to say.
Monstrum recommends a real strong one, Jacob's Ladder from 1990. Troubled Vietnam vet, plagued with demonic twisted visions. Are they true? Are they simply figments of a broken mind? This is a real good movie. And it's, definitely demonic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jacob's Ladder is a great one.
King and Commoner recommends Bring Her Back, 2025, from the duo who brought us Talk to Me. After a father's death, a brother and sister are forced to enter foster care until the brother ages out of the system. Is their new foster mother as enthusiastic as she seems? Or is it a darker reason she welcomed them into her home? I saw Talk to Me, but I've not seen Bring Her Back.
Bring Her Back is interesting. This one was, I thought about this one. There's something sort of like, it's skirting a little demonic and skirting a little bit. I mean, I guess it is demonic a little bit, but it's also like, is it Prestige?
I know.
It's their second movie.
I'm like, name the actors that are in this movie. Have they been to the Golden Globes? You know,
Sally Hawkins definitely, because she's an Oscar. Oh, did she win the Oscar? So she's big name. So that's
so I'll buy it.
And it's the Philippou brothers' second film, so maybe that counts.
I'll buy it. Radical, I get it, recommends Exuma from 2024, which is the highest grossing South Korean film of 2024 and the sixth highest grossing South Korean film of all time. That's a good point, Radical. When a spirit cleansing of a grave goes wrong, oh dear, a shaman, a geomancer, and a mortician must figure out the mystery that link a mysterious illness to a Japanese Oni spirit.
I watched this movie a couple years ago when it hit Shudder, and this movie's fun. I thought it was fun. Yeah.
I just love the idea that like a shaman, a geomancer, and a mortician walk into a bar.
It really does have a little bit of comic book vibe to it. I don't know if it's based off of other material, but it definitely has that kind of like, it's almost like superhero type movie.
Okay.
But
and listen,
those
are
your talents.
And I love expanding prestigious beyond Hollywood.
Yes.
Into
love that
the world. Half Price Horror recommends The First Omen from 2024. A lush, gorgeous conspiracy thriller inspired by the 70s, classic 70s paranoid thrillers. Again, it's like, I know this was a well-received movie. I don't know if this is like truly a prestige film.
I think this came up when we talked about the Mephisto Waltz. In fact, Mephisto Waltz, we rolled demonic and prestige.
Oh, shit.
And so we brought up The First Omen, and it was like, it has no, like, it doesn't have the cachet of quite of prestige, other than
like I would
it
say
was well received.
The remake of The Omen with Liev Schreiber and, you know, like that, I was like, oh, that I see is more prestigious because I'm like, oh, these are famous people that you've heard of in a kind of not necessary remake.
Right. Yeah.
But still. I think The First Omen, I want to see it because I hear it was really well received. It's really good.
Yeah.
But does it have Arnold Schwarzenegger in it?
No, it doesn't have like a heavily named cast. It's also like it also did fine at the box office. Like it made its money back, but it didn't like run away with it.
Sure. Fifth Hammer recommends Fallen from 1998. Denzel Washington witnesses the execution of a serial killer, and soon after the execution, the killings start again, but they're very similar to Reese's style. Did the convict execute the wrong man? Or they convict and execute a wrong man? Or is it a copycat? Or is it the same killer in possession of another meat puppet? John Goodman, Donald Sutherland, James Gandolfini.
Wow.
Boom. Ellen Tiermo recommends Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Interesting.
With Ava Green, Samuel Jackson, Terrence Stamp, Judi Dench, directed by Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Scary Invisible Demons, which are scarier when you can see them. Time travel, time loops. Yeah. Sure, I buy it.
Yeah.
It's definitely like YA horror adjacent. It's a very, yeah, I'll buy it. But yeah, I think there's demons in there, right? I don't remember why they're there, but I do remember the main characters running from scary shadow monsters or something. Farce Majeure recommends The Devil's Advocate. Oh my God, how did we forget about The Devil's Advocate?
How did we miss that? Yeah.
I mean, this movie is ridiculous. Keanu as a young Southern lawyer. Mm-hmm. Al Pacino is the devil, and Charlize Theron is his wife, who is fucking caught in the middle. This movie is this movie is so ridiculous, but I kind of love it.
Yeah. It's
also, I'm of that era when I was like, I can't believe this movie was made, but also I kind of love it. A. Simon recommends an interesting one. This is maybe more of a ghost story than a demonic, but I'll buy it. 1408 with John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. John Cusack stars as a jaded paranormal author who ignores Samuel L. Jackson's warnings and checks into the most haunted hotel, who kills anybody who stays in it. And those rumors are very true, and this room is very evil. I love this movie. This movie is like, it was one of those movies that came out where it's like, look at these two famous actors are in a kind of quiet, true horror film that doesn't like shit on your brain, that isn't like made for teenagers. It's like a well thought out film.
Right.
But again, maybe a bit more of a ghost story than a demon movie.
Yeah.
Wandering Star recommends Legend, 1985.
That's interesting.
Is it dark enough of a dark fantasy to tip into horror? Perhaps. Certainly the demon is iconic. Regardless.
Very true.
Highly agree. Yeah, there's definitely some horrific elements to this. I could see it. Bugava recommends Princess Mononoke, one of the scarier Ghibli films. Bookended by two great kid-friendly demon scares. Worth considering, especially if you want an option that's something other than a Christian understanding of what a demon is.
Yeah, great point.
Truth. Shoe Fairy recommends Legion. A group of people attempt to protect an infant savior from angels and the possessed in an apocalypse. I think this is kind of similar grounds to The Prophecy.
Yeah.
In that it's like, oh no, and this human baby saved the humans. Oh no, an angel. Yeah. That's bad.
Paul Bettany. Well, we have some pretty good ones on here, Cecil.
Quite a bit.
I mean, I kind of want to lean into, first and foremost, I want to lean into good.
Yes.
Just because our last demonic prestige was the Still Waltz, which is a little bit of a miss. So something good. And I really would love to nail prestige, something that really gives us star director, star actors, something to that effect. And so Devil's Advocate, Constantine, Hellboy, The Prophecy, I think all of those really, really, really are. Fallen, yeah.
But again, I've not seen Fallen, so I don't know how. Is it demonic? I don't know if it's kind of like serial killer. Did you get serial killer on my demon? Or did I get demon on your serial killer? I don't know what the twist is, and I don't want to spoil it for myself or anybody else.
Yeah.
But I would watch it for the show. Jacob's Ladder is a good choice.
Jacob's Ladder is a great one. It's an iconic film. Tim Robbins, iconic role for him.
And listen, I've not seen it, but I don't want to sleep on Eczema.
I was about to say Eczema is another one because that is another movie that is prestige, but just not in the United States. The sixth highest grossing film in a country's history.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I think we have 6 solid contenders. I have 2 that I could champion, but I could expand it to 3 that I'd be happy with. And then out of the list of things we just said, I'm like, I'd watch any of these movies.
What were the 2 you would champion?
I think my 2 champions would be The Devil's Advocate and The Prophecy.
I was feeling pretty strong about The Prophecy because it's a movie that, I think is like a lot of horror movies in that I think when it came out, it generally, especially in the 90s when we weren't, I think, respecting horror was quite dumb. As much as we do a little bit more today in the critical world. So I think it kind of got beaten and battered by the critics.
Yeah.
But I think it's a movie that I think has held on later. And it's also We're talking about, who's our cast here? Christopher
Christopher
Walken,
Walken.
Virginia Madsen, Eric Stoltz,
Amanda
Viggo Mortensen.
Plummer, Adam Goldberg.
Oh, Adam Goldberg, yes.
I love him.
But I think having Christopher Walken at the center of your
Eric
90s
Stoltz. I think it's like Eric
movie.
Stoltz and Virginia Madsen are kind of our two protagonists in this film.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I've literally not seen this movie since 1995.
I literally have not seen this movie, and until you brought it up,
let's do it.
I think
Angels and
that's the way to
Demons,
go.
Christopher Walken. I think this is.
I'm sorry
this is
to
a good
not
choice.
do a role because I was really kind of secretly hoping to get Exuma, but also I just really want, after we did that, I really want a known commodity. And Prophecy may not be a movie I like at all. It might suck. I have no idea, but it seems to fit perfectly with what we're doing. So let's go with that.
Yeah, let's watch it.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you, Cecil, for talking with me. If you have thoughts on the first 3 episodes of The Walking Dead, or I don't know, if you want to talk about more of the show.
What happens in season 11?
Let us know. That's right. Or if you have thoughts on good demonic prestige horror film, let us know at Random Horror 9 on Blue Sky, Instagram, or Patreon. And on Patreon, we have free public discussion threads for every episode. And watch The Prophecy from 1995 with us this week. And come on back next Tuesday for a new episode. Have a restful night with no racists in your adventuring party or nothing. Boo. Boo. Random Number Generator Horror Podcast number 9 is hosted by me, Jeffrey Craner, and Cecil Baldwin. Find more of our work on the podcast. Welcome to Night Vale. This show is produced by Night Vale Presents. It is edited by me with music by Cecil and logo by David Baldwin. See original artwork for each episode by David on Instagram. Join us for live streams on Patreon. Watch our recording sessions on YouTube. Chat with us on Blue Sky and contribute to our movie selection process on Letterboxd. We're in all of those places at Random Horror 9. Today's scary story. You wake up to an empty world. Traffic is no longer an issue, but man, do the buses take forever.
Carvana's so easy, just a click, and we've got ourselves a car. See?
So many cars. That's a click-tastic inventory.
And check out the financing options. Payments to fit our budget. I mean, that's...
Clickonomics 101.
Delivery to our door?
Just a hop, skip, and a click away.
And bought.
No better feeling than when everything just...
clicks.
Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.